Hey everyone, I'm Dee Harris. We have another very exciting show for you today on Hanging Out with Dee, so welcome and thanks for joining us. Today we have Michael Wright of Right Way Cleaning, his son Malik, and his very close friend and business partner, Sullivan Rowe, otherwise called Sully. Welcome and thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So, you have a really powerful story, Michael. You have a story that I think will touch the lives of many people, especially young people, young men listening today. So I'm just going to give you an opportunity to start off with your story, start off with your childhood and what happened.
Which part in my childhood would you like me to
start
from?
Start with you leaving from Jamaica, coming here.
Well, I left Jamaica at a very young age. I came to the United States at the age of 8, where man, I went to a variety of different schools. I went to, right here in Danbury, I went to Pembroke, where I would meet some of my teachers where I still know them today. I went to Morris Street, King Street, but going through the school systems in Danbury, the different ones got me really cultured.
Yeah.
You know, just being able to go around, to live in Danbury with growing up with my brother Troy.
Yeah.
I experienced Danbury through that. And then, you know, growing up through Danbury, I mean, I always did fairly well in school. To this day, I know my 2nd grade teacher.
Oh.
She goes to my church.
Oh, cool.
Mrs. Albritton. You know, meeting her, you know, a lot of the people that I met through the town and going to school here kind of seasoned me.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, just growing up in the town of Danbury, went to Danbury High School.
Yeah.
Later on in my life, I you know, right in about high school age when you're about to get ready to go to school, college,
yeah,
I got into trouble.
Yeah, what kind of trouble?
Well, I got into a brush with the law, where it brought me to a place in my life where I spent a large period of my adult life in prison, and I didn't make prison define me when I came out of prison. I actually used prison as a means to just be able to hit the road and just to be able to say, well, I'm going to make business and I'm going to do better.
Yeah, in your life.
Pretty much in my life. I mean, I could go in multiple different ways.
So how long did you spend in prison?
Well, I did a stint of about a little bit over 12 point somewhat years.
Yeah.
To call it 12.
Yeah.
But.
And while you were there, did you come to a realization, or is that where you decided to start your business and make some changes in your life?
Well, yeah, in there, basically just laying in there and just, you know, asking yourself some questions like, what am I going to do when I'm released there, as far as like how I'm going to prepare myself.
Yeah.
So in there, you could decide to go 2 different ways. You could decide to go into a negative direction and watching what's going on in there, in that abusive environment for anybody, or you could just actually sit down and make yourself better and prepare, and I did that.
What was that thing that caused you to go the other way, and even while you were in prison, not being negative but thinking about the positive things that you wanted to do with your life?
Because I've always been a positive person.
Okay.
Even the encounter, I would never take anything from it. Before, up until that point in high school, I was always an outgoing person.
Yeah.
So you have to sink back into that and say, well, I'm still that person.
Correct.
You know, so you hold on to that and just say, well, you know what, you make a mistake in your life, you could either hold on to it and make that moment define you, or you could just move on.
Correct.
And
make it a stepping stone.
Exactly.
And a story, like where
exactly. So, you know, my grandmother grew me, so, you know, all of those little seasons that you're getting, those little metaphors that they used to say to you are now relevant again.
Well, tell me a couple of the things that your grandmother used to say to you.
I mean, you know, you know, that's the typical stuff. You know, like, you know, every day the bucket goes to the well. It's an old Bob Marley proverbs. Yeah. One day the bottom will fall out.
Yeah.
So you could keep doing all the things you want to do, and it keeps adding up and adding up. Weight is just gonna, eventually nature is gonna happen. So
correct.
You hold on to those things.
Okay, so for our non-Jamaican audience, which is probably over 90%, you're saying, say the proverb again.
Every day the bucket is going to the well.
But one day
the bottom will drop out.
One day the bottom are gonna drop out.
Yeah,
in other words, if you keep going the same way every day, not doing what you should do, there is going to be a day of reckoning for you. There's going to be a day when all hell breaks loose, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I conditioned myself.
Yeah.
You know, I did what I had to do. You go back to the basics.
Yeah.
What was really important to you when you were growing up?
Yeah.
And it was simplicity.
Yeah.
So I believe you go back to that as opposed to what some other people did.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I had one of the, and I keep going back to this. I had a lot to fall back on. Like I said, I went to one of the best high school where I seen that education was lacking in a facility like that, and I used that to help people get their GEDs.
You did that while you were in prison?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you sometimes when you have nothing else to do, you're gonna.
So you were helping people get their GED in there?
Of course.
Wonderful.
I would, people were lacking like the basic fundamental.
Wow.
And things like that.
And then you told about a time you spoke about Ivan Pitts and the role he played in your life. Go ahead and tell us about that.
Wow. Well, I have a friend. He's also
a pastor.
No, not a pastor. He works with us, and he's also a business partner working with us and stuff. Jarrell Crawford put me on the Black History Committee in a facility up in Cheshire, and I really didn't want to be a part of it, but he forced me into it, and it became really interesting. We got to invite a list of people from the chief of police for Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
I believe I told you before. I believe we got Keith Coons from Channel 8 News.
Wonderful.
He was there, and one of the guests that I got on was Reverend Pitts.
Yeah.
He hit it out the park. I mean, he had I believe he had a sermon about the witness in the clouds.
Yeah.
And that really resonated with me.
What did he say? Witness in the clouds. What about what he said touched your heart?
Basically, he said that we have family members, ancestors, people that are watching us, want us to live life,
yeah,
and to live it to the fullest. And,
yeah.
And some of us squander it, and they're still basically waiting for us to get back in the race, and do what we're supposed to do, because he gave like a wicked anecdote about a little short story about him running, and he thought he had the race won, but the guy was behind him, and he was gaining, and he was running for his life to catch up, and it was a moment right there that defined his attitude towards certain things. And I mean, the story's going to hit with different people, different type of ways.
But that resonated
with me.
So he came to you invited him from prison, you put on this amazing Black History program.
Exactly.
And that, for you, resonated in your heart.
Yeah.
While you were there.
I wanted to be a part of it.
You wanted, yeah. And so tell me about your amazing son, Malik. How old are you, Malik?
I'm 16 right now.
You're 16. And how has your father's story impacted your life?
Well, I didn't really I didn't dwell on it in a bad sense,
Yeah.
I didn't let it make me who I was.
Yeah.
Because I sort of knew who he was because I knew who I was.
Yeah,
in that
like
sense.
that.
So
yeah.
I just, I learned a lot about things. I picked up on it and figured it out on my own. So I knew where he was when they were trying to feed me the spoon and tell me the stories and stuff like that. So it was hard, but my mom was always there to sort of take care of me.
Yeah.
And she really grew me.
Yeah. And clearly you're proud of your father, I can see.
Yes, I am.
Sully.
Hey.
What is your relationship to Michael, and how I know that you're a part of his business and everything. How has his strength, his character impacted your business and your friendship and partnership together?
Well, not only is Michael a co-worker or a partner of mine, but he kind of became family to me, over the years. I mean, I've known Michael going on 4 years now. And from the minute that I was introduced to him, it was nothing but reception and love.
Yeah.
And you could feel that it was genuine.
Yeah.
And since, I mean, it's grown. It's grown. There's an intensity. There's drive. There's dedication. We've gone through the ringer. I mean, started from the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With your business.
Yeah. And I mean, hardships and frustration and all types of stuff. But
you've come through it together.
It's great. Yeah. It's right now. I mean, we're striving.
Wonderful.
Successful.
Wonderful.
And not only is it, you know, the three of us that have started it with Jarrell, and we've also brought others along now. You know, some of my friends, some of his friends or peers that, you know, that we see, like he said, we're lacking.
Yeah.
And that I feel I can't leave behind.
Yeah.
And that they should have some of the success. I'd like to share the success.
So you're bringing people along as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very powerful story. I've seen you around, and you're always smiling from ear to ear, and it's clear that the mistake that you made in your life didn't define you, or whatever happened back then didn't define you. And if it did define you, it made you better. It made you stronger. It made you sweeter. So I think that's really powerful. All right. So let's talk some more about your business. You mostly do like commercial stuff. What made you decide what kind of cleaning you wanted to do?
That story in itself is interesting too.
Tell me the story.
I'll give you a quick version. There was a gentleman in the church that thought that perhaps, with some drive and some dedication, you could probably start your own business.
Oh, really? What's his name? Give him a shout out.
Willie Knight, thank you.
Shout out to Willie Knight.
Yeah, so he was making a little comment, but I thought about it. I went home and I started looking on the internet about the possibility of janitorial service, and I'm like, wow, there's really not that much overhead, and the potential for growth is there. Yeah. So I jumped on it. I mean, plus I've always flirted with the idea where I told you before, and it became possible working at the church at New Hopes. That's where you started? That's where I started. I had my start with Reverend Pitts, and Reverend Parker's taken me there the next way with as far as allowing me to be able to still clean there. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like really psyched. Awesome. The clean business, like well, as far as like what we're doing right now, we're starting to see government work now and stuff like that. We partnered up with a larger company. Yeah. That's basically umbrellaing us and showing us the way, ADG Enterprise. That story within itself is another story. I don't know if you want me to go into it. Give us a quick taste. My stepfather introduced me to a lady that was named Diana Patterson. She was featured on Black Enterprise magazine. Yeah. About cleaning. I believe, I don't want to say the name, but she was also featured on another major talk show. Correct. About business, and she had a son which is about my age. They're into it. They're I believe the largest owned minority commercial cleaning business. So Adam and myself, he's been teaching me about how to acquire certifications, and now we're aiming at looking at military contracts, federal contracts. Wow. We've cleaned military base. We're trying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we're there, and people are just accepting us. Yeah. And we're really grateful with it, for the direction that we're going in. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wonderful, wonderful story. So we have a clip of you doing some cleaning, and there was a whole lot of water. You're gonna have to explain. Okay. Why are you using let me take a look at the so much water? It's not water. Okay. Basically, what you're seeing right here, I'm not really sure is in the picture. Basically, it's a top scrub. Yeah. And what we're doing is we're we're emulsifying the dirt up there. We're releasing it. And what we're going to do, we're going to use the walk behind and pull the dirt up, and then we're going to varnish the floor. It's going to look shiny afterwards. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then we also have some before and afters for you as well. There was one that looked like church had a humongous party. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, what happened there? I believe it was a wedding. Oh, okay, it was a wedding. New Hope Baptist Church had a beautiful wedding, And that's just before and after, how you just have to come in there and just command
And just fix it
and
like nothing
just
happened.
like nothing happened. Just restore it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Just restore it back.
Wonderful. What words of encouragement would you give to young people who may be on a path that's not so positive? What would you say to a young man who is sitting right now, or a young girl sitting right now, facing choices in their life, maybe made some mistakes, and wondering if they can never be like you, turn their life around? What would you say?
You know, what I would say is probably something I said a long time ago. I remember they tried, they'd asked me if I would be on, if I would do the Scare Them Straight program thing.
What, Scare Them Straight?
Yeah.
What is that?
The younger kids that were probably like, you know, starting to head into a bad path.
Yeah.
And I told them, I'm too small for that. So the best thing I could tell them is like, listen to your mother and your father, right? I think I told this young girl one time, listen to your mother and your father, right? Up until you're 18. And if you still feel the same way, go and do what you want to do. You know, but I believe that you're going to be so regimented in your ways of all the good things that they're telling you, the foundation, that you're going to have no choice but to continue to do that. And just don't deviate from that. And that's pretty much it. And just listen to your stomach. You have intestinal fortitude.
Yeah.
Your
instincts.
Your instincts. You know when it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Don't
do it. Don't allow peer pressure.
It's all basic.
Correct.
You stay back to you go back to the basics.
Correct.
Yeah.
And were there any mentors in your life apart from your parents? Were there any mentors in your life?
There are plenty. As far one that I could think about right now, I mean, even most recent, Reverend Parker is a good mentor.
He has been a mentor.
A good mentor.
You spoke about your aunt once. You were telling me about your aunt.
My aunt Joan.
Yeah.
She's also a good mentor. I also flirted with the idea of probably allowing her to be here because I thought that she'd speak most candid about me. She's been inspirational in my life. My grandmother. My grandmother's a rock in my life. So
powerful people.
And my mother. So.
All right, now we're going to the life questions game. Okay. Are you ready?
Ready, born ready.
Born ready.
Keep my feet first.
All right. Take a question from the bowl.
All right, I like this one right here.
You like that one? What does it say?
Okay. What do you know for sure?
Okay, everybody has to answer the question he picked. What do you know for sure?
What I know for sure is that I believe that life has a simple formula. Right? I believe that if you stay together, right, and you try to figure it out together, that no matter what it is that you're trying to do or seek, it'll happen naturally. Don't force anything.
When you say stay together, what do you mean?
Find a group of people
who are positive.
Surround yourself with that because there's definitely strength in numbers. Every day throw something positive into it. And I know for sure whatever result it is that you're trying to get, you'll get it.
It'll come.
It'll come.
Malik, what do you know for sure at 16?
Well, I mean, I know for sure that I have pretty much the best support group behind me right now as far as like school and everything.
Wonderful.
And just accomplishments, making those accomplishments. And I know that everyone behind me is just gonna give me nothing but good information to go down a good path.
Yeah.
And make a good career for my future and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I know everyone behind me is just.
So that's what you know for sure.
Definitely.
In Jamaica, I would say you have a good backative, good support system.
Yeah.
Sully, what do you know for sure?
Success isn't easy. But everything that happens, you need everything, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
So that all things work together for the good.
Word.
Of the Lord. So we wouldn't be here today without Michael's incidents or
Correct, and without
my own
yeah.
mishaps and
Yeah.
the ups and the downs.
Yeah.
It
all works out.
works out.
Tapestry of life. Some grays, some blacks, some reds, some yellows. All right, Malik has to pick the next one.
All right.
Go, Malik. Grab.
Run.
You went for the yellow one. What does it say, Malik?
What did you dream of being when you grew up?
Perfect. What do you want to be when you grow up?
What did I dream of being?
Or what do you dream of being? Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, of course, you always had a fantasy of being like one of those people on TV or something like that. But
And now you're on TV.
You come to realization that school is the best path, you know?
Yeah.
You can't mess up in school as far as like your grades. You just have to maintain.
Stay focused.
And stay focused. And
So what do you want to be? Do you want to go into business? Do you want to do law? Do you want to be a doctor?
Well,
What do you want to do?
right now, I mean, I'm pretty good with my hands. I
Okay.
adapt fast, and I like to learn a lot of things, you know.
So like
I pick up-
carpentry? Like when you say your hands, what do you mean?
As far as like, I like cars.
Oh, nice.
I really love cars. I'm very fascinated with cars.
Nice.
So, I mean, maybe
wanna-
something like mechanical engineering
Nice.
or designing
Nice.
cars. I like something like
Yeah, I
that.
feel that. I can see that.
Those type of trades, I like those.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, pass this to Sully.
I put this back.
What's success?
What? That's perfect, because you've been talking about that all day. What is success?
Wow. This one is deep. Well, like I said, some could say that, you know, success would be defined by accomplishments, you know, a quantity of some sort of, or, you know, a list of accomplishments.
Yeah.
So I would say more so, you know, the quality. I'm more on the quality.
Expand. What do
aspect.
you mean?
Success being like within you,
Yeah.
not so much the number of accomplishments, but like I said, with the ups and downs and trials, overcoming them
Correct.
and
Correct.
achieving a goal.
Yes.
So, you know, a big picture and obtaining that goal. Like I
Yes.
said, all the accomplishments that they need to add up to that one goal
Yes.
in the end. So I think that achieving that and overcoming your struggles is being successful.
Word. So what you're saying is set a goal for yourself
Yeah.
and achieve it no matter what. Go after it no matter what. That is
Right.
success.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome, guys. You're so deep.
Wow.
Where do you see your business, or what ideas do you have personally or for your business over the next year or 5 years or whatever? Do you have dreams or things that you still haven't accomplished that you wish or you want to?
Of course. I see the business doing better
Yeah.
in the next 5 years. We basically accomplished a lot of things on the 5-year plan that was originally designed up. But now we're heading into the 5th year, and now you're thinking about growth. We're starting to learn about certifications. What is an A8 certification? It puts you in a different category to be able to bid on these things. So now we're fascinated with that. So if they say those certifications they exist.
So that's what you need to do. That's the
what
next
we need
goal.
to do. That's the next step.
All right, guys.
To go on to the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Michael, Malik, Sully. Your story is powerful. It's a story of overcoming challenges. It's a story of sticking together and going through the tough times together no matter what. And that's a story that we all need, no matter who we are or where we are in life. That is a powerful story. Find us on Facebook, Hanging Out with Dee, and do send me your emails at hangingouttv@Morph Studios. I have been getting your emails and your texts and your messages. Thank you so much. We're glad that we're touching your lives. Now, we're going to have a song very soon by me. So stay tuned. I'll be singing for you in a couple of seconds.